What's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to Automotive Life, and it is Workshop Wednesdays. Now, before I actually get to the shop and we start playing with some stuff there, I wanted to go ahead and give it a quick disclaimer and announcement. Now, I'm doing Workshop Wednesdays to kind of spice it up a little bit, to do something different. Now, I love to talk one-on-one like this, giving you guys information on the automotive industry. I love talking about starting businesses with your dealership or your rental car company, or if you want to start a shop or body shop. But talking head like this gets a little bit mundane and a little bit boring. So I always want to switch it up a little bit. That's why we're doing Workshop Wednesday. Now, I do my best to answer all your questions and try to do video topics that you guys like. That's why I always say, any questions you have, always put them down in the comment section below, because I answer pretty much almost all, about 99% of them, and I take the time to read your guys' comments because it matters a lot to me. No matter how big I get or whatever else, I still want to reply back to a lot of you guys and read your comments. Now, like I said, I like to do Workshop Wednesdays. It's going to be one of our new things where we're going to talk about, cars and get in there in the shop. But at the same point, if it's not something you enjoy, don't roast me in the comment section and say, I want to talk about rental cars. I want to talk about dealerships. I want to talk about this. This channel is all things automotive. And the reason why I'm showing you guys these different little things is to let you guys know that there's so much more than the one facet you're looking at. And that's why when we do training and stuff, we try to teach you everything. So as you go down your automotive journey, whether you're doing rental cars or auto repair, or you open up a dealership, you can test different things, because we never know what's going to be successful in your area. That's why I'm showing you a little bit of everything, where, like I said, talking about business, finance, and numbers here is great, but I want to show you what it's like in the real world with Workshop Wednesday, and hopefully when we start going to the auctions, once most of these Rona restrictions are over. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm going to try to every Wednesday bring you guys into the shop, show you what we're doing. So we got the Mustang, which is a 67 project that we started with last week. We're going to do an update. I do have some parts for that, and also we got its twin sitting outside, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. But we were going to start chopping this up, but unfortunately we got the Subaru in that we had to pull out the motor. We got Sam here pulling out and basically just took apart the whole motor, if you can kind of see it right here. These motors suck, but they're extremely expensive, so most times we would just replace it for time-wise. But this one, it's actually cheaper for us to actually rebuild. So we're gonna replace the crank, do the rods, and put it back up, and then it's up for sale. So today I figured, since we could do a lot of fabrication on the Mustang, we're gonna go ahead and show you around the shop, show you the other one, and then kind of talk about what we're doing. We got a Durango here, we're just doing the head job too. We got this Chevy HHR we just got today. This one's actually Spencer's car, Spencer Cornelia, another YouTuber. I brought him in to kind of just do some fun car flipping and stuff like that. So this is his car. So it's getting ready to go through, and we're gonna actually see what's wrong with the vehicle, get a list of what it actually needs to be done. So usually on these cars like this, what I like to do is we work safety first, emissions, and then whatever else needs to be done. So we took the front wheels off, obviously, because we're checking brakes. He was hammering the bushings for the control arms, which you can see are missing on this other side here. We're gonna do the brakes, we're gonna do the control arms. Once it's safe and good to drive, we're gonna drive it, see what any check engine lights or anything is gonna pop on. Then we're gonna do emissions, and then after that, we're gonna work our way through the rest of the car. Too many people mess up these steps when it comes to either fixing or flipping cars. They'll get excited, they'll just start buying parts for whatever they think that it needs, like, oh, it needs shocks, oh, it needs an interior seat, it needs this. We always do it in that first steps, because what we do is, if it's safe to drive, we could sell it to somebody else if it costs too much to do the rest of the things. And then here in Nevada, we need emissions, we need it to pass smog. This way it'll give us the most money if we take it to the auction or we sell it to another dealer. So we're gonna go ahead and walk out here, and I'm gonna show you some of the other magical cream puffs that we got over the weekend. So this one right here is a 2013 Ford ST. It's actually pretty cool. It's a little beat up. Actually, I'm gonna go around this side. The inside is trashed. It looks like it was at a body shop. They took off the front bumper. They disconnected some of the stuff in the motor. If you look inside here, they took off the steering wheel, but it's got the ST seats. Sorry, I keep spinning around. If you guys are gonna get motion sickness, you might get a little bit this today. But it's got the racing seats. It is a 250 horsepower turbo 4-cylinder 6-speed manual with 50,000 miles. So we picked this one up for a little under 5,000 bucks. They had just been sitting there. The shop ended up putting a lien on it, and we're able to buy it from them. So this will be a good project. I'm gonna go ahead and show you another beautiful car we got from this body shop. It is a 2007 Toyota Yaris. We paid 1,200 bucks for it. You can see the bumper here smashed, a little ugly. Nothing too bad, but we should be able to fix that. This one's probably gonna cost us about 1,800 bucks to fix, and then we'll have it up and running. Let me show you some of the other ones we got today. We got this Cadillac DTS. Now, like I said, we do buy a lot of nice cars. If you look at some other videos, we buy a lot of the expensive cars and stuff like that. But here in Vegas, I like to buy some of the buckets because we have a repair facility. Here's a Camry, a beautiful Hyundai Accent. This thing is absolutely roached. You paid $400 for it. It's pretty hilarious. Let me go over here. And here is the, if you saw it on my Instagram stories, this is a 2012 or 13 Volkswagen CC wide body kit. This thing is pretty awesome. Let me see if I can switch it around. I'll switch around the camera so I can show you guys. So you can see the wide body kit. This thing is awesome. We have the wheels in another car, but you can see the offset about this. This is definitely, it looks like an expensive kit. What we're doing right now is we're replacing some of the fuses inside here, if you guys can see. Fusible links that are back up inside this box. They burned them out, so it lets us know that they were actually jumping the car incorrectly and they ended up frying it. This thing has been sitting at a shop for about 2 years. They actually offered to us back then for $9,000. And we told them that we were gonna wait, and we offered them $6,000 for it. Well, anyways, 2 years later, here we go. We finally bought it for $6,000. And it's missing some fuses, some relays. It's they lost the front bumper. They damaged it every time they towed it off. And so now we got to fix that. But this is definitely going to be something that's going to be a fun project. So here are the wheels for the car. They're HREs. Look how wide this thing is. That's got to be at least I think a 11.5, 12-inch wheel for the rear. Here's the other one. So I'm missing one wheel, so I definitely have to get another one. Here's a beautiful 7 Series. I bought this thing for $4 grand as is. I bought it from a tow yard with no key. So it was somebody's daily driver, and then they ended up getting it impound. So it could be good, could be bad, have no idea, but it's a $4,000 gamble. Now, do I recommend you guys getting something like this? Hell no. I'm just doing it because 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty fortunate with these cars, and I know that even if it has a blown head gasket or the turbo is bad or something like that, I could fix it. So I think this car is probably close to about maybe $11,000, $12,000. So I figured it's worth the gamble. But like I said, I never recommend this, especially for anybody that's just starting out. Now, taking crazy gambles like on the 7 Series, like I said, I don't recommend it for everybody. We just do it every now and then. This Accent, same thing, I bought with no keys for $400. I'm sure it's probably going to run, but if it doesn't, oh well, I'll sell the cats and recycle it for more. This one we paid $800, but I could sell the cats and the rest of the parts for junk for a little bit more. But I like, I guess, doing this type of bucket flipping, messing with cars that have a lot of mechanical issues. It kind of keeps us on our toes, working with some of the old stuff. Then while in Phoenix and in LA, we're working on brand new cars, stuff 2015 to 2023. That's what we like to purchase. But here in Vegas, like I said, I believe buckets rule, especially because everybody here in Vegas has shit credit and no money and wants to act like a baller. So that's why we have, you know, SUVs and buckets like this, so this way we can get them rolling. But oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to show you the newest addition to our workshop. For Workshop Wednesday, it is the second half. This is the one inside is a 68 shell. This is a 1967 shell. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spin the camera around. I'm gonna show you all the stuff inside. Now, as you guys can see, literally this is nothing but a shell. No engine, no transmission, lots of surface rust. Look at that. Some rust here in the quarter panels, but then if you look at the floor, you can literally see the floor through the floor. So this is gonna be almost like a practice test. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this whole back end off. As you can see all the rust right here. We're gonna take it down to the base floor plan or floor pan, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the fastback shell on it. Now this one, like I said, is gonna be our test car where we're gonna do a lot of the first initial work on this particular vehicle. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because we wanna fix this one up the same time we're doing the 68. So this way, as we're test fitting and putting everything together, if we make any mistakes, we can make sure we correct it on the 68. Now, once this one's done, we're either gonna keep both of these or we're gonna sell this one off to finish the 68 project, because we bought this for $800. Now, it's gonna cost $5,500 for all the sheet metal to turn into a fastback, and it's gonna take about a week of fabrication, welding, and fitting to turn it into a fastback. But once we do, and we sandblast this and we change the floor plans, we should be able to get hopefully about 12 to 15K for a solid shell once it gets back from primer and sandblasting and everything else. Now, it seems a little crazy, and I have people in the comment section like, how can you fix something rusty and turn it into metal, to more money? And one, it's definitely not easy. It's going to take time. And a lot of my numbers, I don't include time because I'm doing this for YouTube. This is for fun. So now that we got this car, we're going to go ahead and start chopping them both at the same time. The first group of sheet metal for the fastback conversion should be in tomorrow. Now that we're getting that metal, we're going to go ahead and start fabricating, because like I said, you never want to start chopping or tearing stuff apart until you get the necessary parts for the project. So on this particular Workshop Wednesday, unfortunately won't be chopping up cars like this, but I wanted to kind of give you just a little bit lowdown of what we're doing and how we're doing it here in at the shop, and some of the things that we do every single day, because I technically don't have to do this anymore. I can work from an office, stay at home, buy cars online at the auction, but I actually enjoy this weird stuff. It's every time I try to get out of the business and do something else, I get sucked back in. Something about fixing up buckets is just exciting for me. We can get nice cars, we can get, $200,000 cars, and it's fun, but something about buying these pieces of crap with no keys for $1,000 and seeing if it's a gamble, it's just like a fun high, almost like a gambler gets when you buy these cars and it fires up, and then it gives you even more incentive to actually go out and do it. Now here's the E-Class Mercedes we do with Spencer. That thing's almost done, so that one should be pretty good. But as you can tell, we do have a lot of cars. I think it's a little over 100 cars here right now as we speak. And so we're just tuning up for tax season. So a lot of these cars are gonna get fixed up, smogged, and then they're either gonna go to dealerships here in Vegas, or we're just gonna sell them to a bunch of auctions and see what happens to them. We don't know, but that's why we're getting all these things lined up and cleaned up for that particular reason, because I love the public, but dealing with the general public and selling cars has been a nightmare. I'd rather just wholesale them out so I don't have to deal with them at all. But we're gonna go ahead and go inside, and we're gonna talk about a few other things. So you saw at the shop, there's a lot of cars that we're keeping around just for tax season to run through the auction, because it is still technically tax season. But I'd love to hear back from you guys on how your tax season's going in your market. I've heard good things and horrific things. Here it was booming for about 2 weeks, and it literally just hit a cliff. Like everybody ran out of their money. Now, we talked about how people weren't going to be getting as much money as they thought they were during tax season due to all the pandemic restrictions, unemployment, not clicking that button, taking taxes out of it, and them owing for, student loans and everything else. So a lot of people weren't going to get as much money as they normally thought they were. So let me know in your area if it's doing good or if it's doing bad. Now, we're trying to push out a few more cars for another 2-3 weeks, and then we're actually going to kind of pull back a little bit to see what the market brings. And I recommend you do the same. This happens every tax season, where dealers have a 2-week or a 2-month window where they're just selling everything and they go nuts. So what do? They go straight to the auction. They start buying everything and overbidding on absolutely every single car because they're afraid they're going to miss out on the sales. So they sell 60 cars, they go out and buy another 60 cars. Halfway through, sales stop. The demand is over. And so what do? They start winding down. Cars are hitting their floor plan date mark where they're too old, so you'd start taking these cars back to the auction. You may be paid $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for this car, and when you take it back to the auction, now it's worth $8,000, $18,000, and $19,000. So not as much as what you're hoping. So before you get stuck with a lot of this overpriced inventory, really pay attention what's going on in your market. See if there's people really still selling as many cars as you want, and go by your application count. That's how many apps you get in for credit or for inquiries on your business. If you see how busy they are now, if they start to dwindle, as soon as you see that, stop. Even though your supply is low and you don't have as many cars, it's okay, just wait. I'd rather see you guys have 10 cars on your lot and sell out of them than have 60 or 30 cars, fully loaded lot, and be overpriced in every single one. And this is what happens with every tax season. So after tax season, you guys know right before summer, we hit that dip where just sales drop off. So like I said, pay attention to your market. Let me know what's going in your market, and don't overpay for vehicles right now. I keep saying over and over again, do not overpay at the auction. Be patient. I know a lot of people are like, well, I got to get cars. There's no good deals. Buy on this street. I show you guys almost in every video, and we talk about it, how we buy off the street. You will buy way more off the street than you will at the auction because you have to use cash. 99% of the dealers at the auction only have lines of credit so that they can only buy what's there. And for them to add $200, $300, $500, $1,000 extra is no big deal because they have lines of credit. Or when you get in the real world, they got to stroke a check or write cash to get the vehicles. Now, if you don't have cash, you could still use your flooring line. You just got to bring these people to like your flooring company or your line of credit and have them write the check to the customer when they provide the title. It takes a little bit more effort, but you could still do it even if you don't have that money. But most dealers are lazy, so there won't be that much competition. Anyways, hope you guys learned something. Once again, put something in the comment section below. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or concerns, address it there. Once again, follow us on Instagram, automotive.life. Please take the time to like this video and subscribe. It means so much. We're already at 76,000. We're almost to 100K. I can't believe it. Hopefully we'll hit it in the next 2 months. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you Friday.